The Sims 4 got a huge laundry list. Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my Sims 4 news video. So the Sims Direct tweeted, Simmers, today we have a laundry list with an increased number of community reported issues, including recent reports, that we aim to resolve in the next patch for an improved gameplay experience. And then they followed that up with the dedicated team continues to prioritize community voted fixes with each update. This is our third release in this series with more planned for the future. So that bug fix team is staying and we're getting more bug fixes later. So yay. No indication as to when we're going to get this actual game update associated with this laundry list. Perhaps it'll be Thursday or perhaps it'll be next week, maybe next Tuesday. I don't know. I'm just speculating. So of course the date of the laundry list was September 3rd, 2024. And essentially, it reiterates that this is part of their commitment to tackling technical issues, which refers back to an earlier laundry list. So they have this dedicated team, continue to prioritize community voted fixes with each update. When they say community voted fixes, it probably just means the ones who have like the most Me Too's. So the most people are reporting that they're experiencing the issues, though, of course, even in that case, they do need to actually have a fix for it to be able to fix it. Here is the laundry list, or the beginning of the laundry list from May 23rd, 2024. So that's where they said that they had assembled a team to invest in the core game experience, including tackling technical issues within The Sims 4. So that is essentially what they link to in that link on that beginning part of the laundry list. Then they go on to say the extended list below is directly informed by which issues have the most community reports through Answers HQ. And their usual, there have been more topics that have been reported by players that aren't listed here, but may still be in the process of being solved, and some topics may or can require an extended investigation on their end. So even though these fixes may be in an active review, i.e. they're working on them, it's not a guarantee that they'll be able to have an immediate fix for it in the upcoming patch. And of course, that even the things on this list, there isn't a guarantee that they'll be fixed, but I think usually by the time they make it to the laundry list, they should be more likely to be fixed. And I've not seen it very often where it was on the laundry list and hasn't been fixed, but there have been a few times. In this case, they said, with each new patch, please remember to remove any external game mods and custom content if you are experiencing issues as the first step in troubleshooting, as they may conflict with the updates. With the last couple, they actually said remove them before you update. This one, they're just saying remove them if you're having problems and you're doing troubleshooting. So I don't know if this particular update that's coming won't have perhaps as much of an impact on mods, but regardless, again, if you're having problems, definitely at that point, take them out. I usually just take them out anyways, but that's just how I do things. And then catch you in the next laundry list. Happy simming. So the list of concerns. There's one thing for Mac, where thought bubbles of Sims will no longer appear through walls and floors, and for the gallery, pack filters now properly work for home shelf hustle in the gallery and in the library. Now, there's a big long list here of base game fixes, one of which the outdoor lighting will no longer affect inside the room through ceilings, and I think that is like a recent issue. But I'd have to say a lot of the rest were not recent things and they're older ones. So it's very long. You have, clay and future cubes will no longer get left on lots during events. You've got the issue where if you were in laptop mode, you couldn't see frog, mice, and fish in the tanks. I'm not sure what mice are in the tanks, but whatever. Something with Sims putting their tablets and homeworks back into their inventory instead of placing them in the world. As long as they are standing or sitting. I'm not sure what else they would be doing other than standing or sitting, so that does seem to cover everything. And you're not going to get calls to go somewhere from your own household members. There's a completed daily work task, should be completed after finishing the daily work task. A child sim now has the option to quit their after-school activity. That was removed before high school years came out. The update that preceded high school years, that stopped being an option. So there's one to do with the family fortune scenario that's been fixed, and Sims will return from work or school and switch into the same everyday outfit they had on instead of defaulting to the first everyday outfit in the CAS list. Interestingly, that actually didn't link to a bug report. It linked to a general feedback. And they actually said it was by design, but I guess they decided to change it. And there were some issues that Sims couldn't wash in the sink depending on the cabinet and shelf combinations over it. That's supposed to be fixed. There was an issue with outdoor shadows jumping too much if you were on ultra graphics and at different lib mode speeds. I can't say I've noticed. It probably would have affected me, and then some camera jittering that's supposed to be fixed. Here's an interesting one, and they have something similar later on. When recent neighborhood stories mention a Sim that died in another neighborhood, switching to the respective Sim household will now have an urn present. And that I'm finding a little interesting because it's death related. And of course, we had that leak with respect to the life and death expansion pack on Instant Gaming that I did a video yesterday. So there's another fix to do with an urn later down. So it made me go, Anyways, not that anything's been announced and it's still speculation. And then there's like something for the nerd brain aspiration. If you upgrade a washer and dryer, it should work for that. There are some other things that don't work for completing the nerd brain aspiration. It'd be nice if they fix those too, but I don't see that on this list. Something to do with this particular dish, that they'll hold it the right way when they're eating. Some things to do with infants. Teen Sims can take vacation days while working in the lifeguard career. There was no option to take a vacation day. I remember that when I played that career. Some other issues. This teen goal-oriented aspiration now gets properly completed after getting promoted at work. That struck me. I was like, I don't know. So I looked at it, and that is actually a scenario bug report for the parenting predicaments scenario, where the goal wasn't completing for when the male teen completed his part of the aspiration. I somehow managed to get to work, and I count myself lucky for that, because it seemed like there were a lot of people having an issue with that. I have no idea what investigated missing doodle pip splines is. And it doesn't link to anything. And a want with becoming friends with shouldn't be there if you already are friends, which is good. I get that one all the time. You can see something to do with world icons on the world selection scene no longer move when middle clicked. I have never experienced that. That's interesting. The lock seed packets are unlocked in build by when gardening skill cheats to get your gardening up to 10 should now be unlocked, I guess. And then you can see a couple of other things there. And one that I actually reported with skill lists being out of alphabetical order. When you're switching between Sims, that they should be back to alphabetical order. Hopefully that is actually true, because they supposedly fixed that in the previous update, but it didn't actually get fixed. So here we have a few affecting multiple packs. So in apartments, university dorms, and penthouses, walls and doors will now cut away properly in wall down cutaway viewing mode. And they adjusted some checks for exterior walls and inactive units. And that's been an issue for quite a while. I think it's probably around the infant update. And then there's one to do with scars on spellcaster Sims, and essentially some other ones there. And there's something for feline friends rejoice. Give catnip treat action to cats will no longer cancel. City living, strange wall patches and gaps are no longer visible in wall down view in San Myshuno apartments. And here's one I've experienced. Food stalls in San Myshuno no longer disappear after coming out as CIS and managed world screens. And snow no longer appears inside the Planet Honeypot building. Now, that's a building issue, so I expect that is only going to be fixed for new saves, because they're not going to come in and fix existing saves, because a lot of people, you may have edited the lot or replaced the lot, so they're not going to be able to do that. Just similar to like when they did makeovers of the Goss and the, Calante, Don Lothario household, they stayed the same in existing saves and only changed in new ones. I expect the same is going to be true for that. So cottage living, the Finchwick Fair results notification will stop triggering during sports day competition results. I don't think it's just sports day competitions. It's all of the competitions for high school years. There's one with Crystal Creations where the new item highlights on the accessory tabs should properly disappear. And there's a couple of fixes there for Dine Out. Pretty minor, I'd have to say, on the Dine Out side. Discovery University, I've experienced this actually the first two. Sim will return from visiting law class as guest speaker. I tried going and I tried doing it for the phone, and they just never came back and never marked that job task as complete. And then I have had Sims get the trait related buffs when playing with a soccer ball when they're not active. And honestly, this contribute knowledge, I actually was like, what is that exactly? And so I clicked on it, and it went to like an archived report. So I'm going to assume that sometimes contributing knowledge didn't satisfy that part of the aspiration, and now it should always satisfy it, I'm guessing. I think I've had an issue once where it didn't, but usually it works for me. And then there's one with respect to Servo's graduation portrait. Eco lifestyle, you shouldn't get de-stressing decoctions autonomously in the neighborhood when there's a self-sufficiency nap going on, like where the random NPCs doing that. Notifications for a nap will no longer trigger with the option turned off and will only send the notification if the eco footprint feature is enabled. I hope that's true, because I have it disabled in my game and my world still go green even though I have it disabled. And then there's stacking sun rays and Aurora no longer get stuck on loading, which I have a mod, so they just gets rid of them altogether because it can cause lagging. And then blue void lines are no longer observed in Evergreen Harbor. Now, there is a few for rent, though the corrupt saves issue isn't here. But this first one, you can now select and edit wall heights on residential rentals without having to delete and replace the walls. And I had an issue as soon as I turned a lot to a residential rental that I couldn't change the wall height. But it looked like there was maybe just other things just in general about building that you couldn't do. So maybe the whole thing will be fixed. That would be good. You got ownership no longer disappearing from objects after moving household. Their kettle and pressure cooker were no longer randomly disappearing from inventory, though there are a lot of other issues with respect to those two. And work from home Sims in the handy person career will be properly paid, and they fixed something later on for another work from home career because they're getting paid like 10 simoleons, which I remember being an issue with the gardening career when seasons first came out, and it was an issue for a really long time, but now they get paid there too, but that was fixed a while ago. And Panya, who's the NPC property owner, that visit should count towards have the property owner visit your unit. I managed to get that to work, but I think I had to do some finagling to get it to work, if I remember correctly. It wasn't like as straightforward as I would have thought. And you can see some other things there that are noted with respect to for rent. Now, get to work. You see a couple things there. Growing together, another few things. Horse ranch, some put in inventory and trade for interactions are now available on the goat sheet after moving to a new lot. I've noticed a few things that have to do with inventory and moving seeming to be fixed, so that's a good thing. High school years. Teen Sims will no longer randomly stop taking exams. I have had that happen. Teen Sims will be able to travel to prom even if Principal Mai Prescott is not alive, because I think that is an issue. But when I clicked on that link, and it went to one report, but then on the popular now or whatnot reports, it goes to a different one where the prom isn't even showing up in the calendar. And I don't know how much overlap there is with respect to this issue, and I had heard this was an issue. So I'm not sure if it'll fix both issues or just the one linked here. And then this is the one where I said Sims will get paid the full amount of simoleons for the work from home task for this influencer video game streamer career. I do these careers with my teens all the time, and they always get paid 10 simoleons, or when they've aged up, they get and have like special traits. They might get as much as 14, but they don't actually get their pay. Laundry day, you can see you can wash things once and it'll be pristine. You don't have to wash it a second time. So one thing I noticed with the whole Love Struck section of the laundry list is that these all seemed really familiar, and so I went and looked at the August 8th game update notes, and everything here is from those notes. There were more things fixed in the August 8th update, but all of the things noted here, and they're not even all Love Struck items from the August 8th update notes. I will show them here. You can see that there were 5, which were base game multi-pack seasons high school years. I've got them highlighted. There were essentially 12 from the Lovestruck section of this page here, though the first 2 were consolidated, 2 that show on the laundry list versus it shows as 1 here. But if you actually read it, you can see that it's 2 things. And then there was 1 more thing from Lovestruck, and then 3 more that were from vampires, and those are all here, and I went and cross-referenced them. And also anything that has an AHQ, if you click on it, it'll take you to the bug report, and all of the ones noted here are noted as closed. Now, the error 123 has new bug reports, but the big one that was open that links to is fixed. But there were a couple of minor, maybe minor to me, they weren't experienced by as many people. 1, 2, 3 errors. One was an old one that has to do with dine out, and if you have placemats on the lot, then you'll get the error 1, 2, 3, and you can just go in from Manage Worlds and delete those placemats, and then they'll work. And the other one was to do with bartenders or something like that. In both cases, there are mod fixes, but also in both cases, you can go in from Manage Worlds. With the one that's to do with the bartenders or miscellaneous things, just going in seems to reset it, and going back out, then it'll work, at least for a while. But this is linking to the fixed issue, not the open issue. Whether or not they're actually going to fix one or both of the current open issues, I don't know. But what's here is linking to what's been fixed already in that August 8th update. So my wedding stories actually has quite a few fixes here. So you've got 2 that are linked to bug reports, where if you were selling wedding cakes, you can sell to local bakery. It's now available. And there was something to do with, Create-A-Sim. But there looks like they might be tweaking it to make it better, which also makes me wonder if that life and death leak is maybe we're getting funerals, and so they're trying to fix this because they're going to be using the same type of thing for that. Speculation there, of course. So there are new interactions on the wedding arch that will allow you to set which Sims sit on either side of the aisle, which is interesting. You can pick which Sims perform the requested behavior when clicking on the wedding arch and do ceremony activities. So it gives you greater control of what's happening at the wedding. After telling guests to do the ceremony activity, they will stop the other things autonomously, which part of what I find an issue with my wedding stories is if you tell them to gather, to watch the wedding, and then you want to go do something else, they stay where they were and they don't leave, and you have to reset Sims. So, and you can see there's a few other things. So it looks like if these are actually happening, it looks like it should work a lot better to have weddings with my wedding stories. So fingers crossed it does. Nifty Knitting. Unfortunately, they don't have a fix for if your sim stops knitting, that you can't resume or frog it. Then they do have a fix where the legendary knitting will now count for excellent knits aspiration, because you had to do 10, and my Sims would get legendary and they wouldn't count. It would take forever to get 10 excellent knits because the legendary ones weren't counting. But of course there is an issue, like I said, with respect to Sims not being able to resume or frog, which causes other issues with this aspiration because it makes it hard to actually complete your knitting. There is a mod that fixes that. If I remember, I will link it down below if you're a mod user. So you can see a couple of things for paranormal, party essentials, and seasons. So if you get a vacuum, you'll get a vacuum dock. So you'll get the 2 together, because a lot of times I'll get 2 of one or 2 of the other, which isn't very useful. And you can't buy one. You can only buy the whole thing. Lose weight New Year's resolution will now be properly completed. And again, another one with ownership issues. The home decoration box, will no longer become unowned after moving to another residential lot or residential rental. And something to do with the countdown to midnight, I guess, wasn't working on all TVs, and now it should. And Snowy Escape, you have another visual glitches transparency fix, which I also would think would be going forward and not in existing ones. And fun and social motives no longer reduce while hiking together, because exercise is fun. And also, if you're hiking with other people, that should be social. and you got a tiny living and the werewolves there you can see. So it was a very long list, even if you exclude the fact that the Love Struck things were really on the August 8th game update already. And I don't know if there are going to be some more Love Struck fixes that just should have been on there and that weren't there, or if we're not getting anything fixed for Love Struck. I'm not sure. I'm kind of curious. So let me know if you've experienced any of these issues on this laundry list and if you're excited to see these fixes and when you think we might be getting this update. Of course, the other thing we should be getting hopefully soon is a new roadmap, because the last one ended in August and we have a full 4 months ahead of us. Perhaps we'll get that Thursday, which is, depending on where you look at it, could be considered the 10-year anniversary of The Sims 4, because the EA app shows that as the date and not the September 2nd date that was the North American release. But anyways, I'd love to know your thoughts on all of this in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!